Hello, Fulbrighters! My name is Gabe, and today we will be covering important information regarding culture, education, festivals, and taboos. First, we will be talking about the culture in Taiwan. A great quote regarding culture comes from anthropologist Christina de Rossi, who states, "Culture encompasses religion, food, what we wear, our language, marriage, music, and what we believe is right or wrong. How we sit at the dinner table, how we greet visitors, how we behave with loved ones, and a million other things." Due to the large distance between Taiwan and the United States, there are several big differences between American/Western culture and Taiwanese/Sinospheric culture. The best way to bridge the gap between cross-cultural understanding is by learning more about Taiwanese culture and customs so that you can truly appreciate your time spent in Taiwan. Miscommunication can arise from cultural differences due to how people of different ethnicities and cultures perceive each other. Avoiding false expectations is important in avoiding miscommunications, which may lead to misunderstanding and avoidance of other cultures and people. The first potential source of misunderstanding is through the expression of your opinions. Most East Asian cultures, including Taiwan, are generally pretty subtle when it comes to expressing opinions. Although this trait is not as common with the younger generations, you will still notice it when you're at school speaking with anyone from teachers to parents. This means that they may not tell you what they're actually thinking. For example, your school director may come to you for a conversation and tell you that a sports day is coming up. This may seem mundane and a part of normal conversation, but chances are the director wanted to invite you to participate in one of the games or be a referee for some of the races. The largest difference between Western and Asiatic cultures is the concept of individualism versus collectivism. In American culture, we pride ourselves on independence and concepts of free enterprise and self reliance. This comes in stark contrast to the collectivism found in Taiwanese culture, which prioritizes an individual's importance in a group, such as their family or community. This is shown by Taiwanese people typically listing their family name before their given name. This also means that the connections between individuals are different in Taiwanese society. In most communities, including big cities like Taipei, most people are close knit and familiar with their neighbors. This means that during your time in Taiwan, it is important to keep good relationships with everyone you meet, as many of them could be your neighbors. Admiration and respect for your elders or superiors is an important part of Taiwanese society. In most settings, including work and in the classroom, both teachers and students alike are expected to be very respectful to their superiors, such as principals or directors. This is due to the hierarchical structure which is used in a collectivist society. Taiwanese people are more courteous and respectful when they talk to other people, especially when they meet someone for the first time. Taiwanese people often use phrases like, "it's okay," and "I'm sorry," even when they're unhappy with something. Very commonly, people will thank others by saying, "xie xie," and apologizing by saying, "对不起." To sum this up, respect and politeness are extremely admirable qualities in Taiwan and will allow you to make friends with everyone you meet if they are used correctly. Moving on to our next section, education in Taiwan. What do you know about Taiwanese education? Pause the video now and discuss. Do you know how long the average school day is in Taiwan? From this chart, it shows that the average school day for Taiwanese students is significantly longer than most parts of the world, including the United States. On top of approximately 8.5 hours of school per day, many students also involve themselves in sports or attend cram schools after their normal school is done. Here is an example of a typical school day for Taiwanese students. The student usually starts their day around 7:50 in the morning and ends around 4 p.m. As previously mentioned, cram schools are common in Taiwan and most East Asian countries. This can range anywhere from math and science to improving English skills. Next, Discuss some differences you notice between Taiwanese and American students' school schedules. For the final discussion in this section, I would like you to take a few minutes and discuss how you would handle these three situations. To round off the education section, we would recommend that you establish communications early with your LETs. Tell them about your goals for this experience and work with them to make it happen. Having open communication and flexibility will help to ensure that you can work through any issues that may arise while you're teaching in Taiwan. Next, we will discuss festivals and events in Taiwan. First, it is important to know that many Taiwanese festivals are tied with the lunar calendar. This means that they do not occur at the same time each year and instead line up with the moon's phases as opposed to a date set in the Gregorian calendar. Due to this, it is important to look up what dates these festivals are set to happen and plan accordingly, as they can become very busy. Let's start by covering the three biggest festivals in Taiwan. These are the Lunar New Year, the Dragon Boat Festival, and the Moon Festival. The Lunar New Year, also known as Chinese New Year or the Spring Festival, is the most popular holiday in Taiwan and is celebrated on the first new moon in the lunar calendar. This means that the date range is between mid January and mid February. The preparations start with spring cleaning or sweeping the grounds to get rid of bad energy and spirits. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are typically spent with family and friends, with family members receiving red envelopes containing money. The Lunar New Year celebrations usually conclude with a lantern festival, with the entirety of the celebrations lasting around 2 weeks. Each town will have its own unique spin on the Lantern Festival, each drawing large amounts of visitors to temples and city centers. This time also usually coincides with cherry blossom season in Taiwan. Next is the Dragon Boat Festival, which memorializes famous poet Chu Yuan and occurs in June. The main attraction of this festival is the famed dragon boat race, which pits groups of around 20 people to race each other in long wooden boats, usually in a 500-meter course. Notable Taiwanese dragon boat races occur in Taipei and Lukang, which is near Taichung. I was lucky enough to be on a boat team in the 2025 Lukang race and would encourage others to participate if they get the chance. Third is the Moon Festival, also known as the Mid-Autumn Festival, which occurs in September or October. Another festival which honors the ancient Chinese legend of the moon goddess Chang'e. This festival is celebrated with mooncakes, a pastry with a decorative outer crust and a dense filling. Be sure to try some mooncakes while you're in Taiwan, as they are frequently found in most bakeries and sweet shops. Some holidays in Taiwan do use the Gregorian calendar, such as regular New Year's Eve and Peace Memorial Day, which commemorates the people who died during the February 28th massacre. Continuing our Children's Day, Tomb Sweeping Day, where family members honor their ancestors and welcome the arrival of spring, and National Day, which celebrates the 1911 Revolution and the establishment of the Republic of China. While only about 2% of Taiwan's population are indigenous peoples, many still continue the festivals and events their tribes have held for centuries. Well-known festivals include the Flying Fish Festival, Harvest Festival, and sacrifices to the dwarf spirits. Next, we will discuss some actions and symbols which are considered taboo in Taiwan. Do you know what number is considered unlucky in Taiwan? The number 4, called si, sounds similar to the word for death, si. Avoiding the number 4 is also typical in mainland China and Japan. This means that, like how some buildings in America don't have a 13th floor, certain buildings in Taiwan will not have a 4th. Another important part of Taiwanese culture is ghost marriages. If you notice a red envelope lying on the ground, do not attempt to pick it up, as Taiwanese superstitions state that picking it up means you are Interested in marrying the deceased person whose relatives left the envelope there. If locals won't pick it up, neither should you. If you are interested in learning more about this, there is a Taiwanese movie called Marry My Dead Body on Netflix, which talks about the practice. It's pretty funny, and I think it gives a good introduction to Taiwanese culture. Finally, never stick your chopsticks upright like the picture shows. This is reserved during times when people have passed away. You should instead lay your chopsticks flat whenever possible to avoid offending any Taiwanese people you are with. Also, Taiwanese people tend to ask more personal questions than Westerners would in an attempt to get to know and befriend you. Try not to be offended if they ask questions such as your age, salary or occupation, relationship status, family background, or your health and well being. If you are uncomfortable answering some of these questions, try to be as polite as possible and either decline or suggest a different topic to talk about. You can also answer "ting bu dong," which means "I don't understand." This usually makes them change the subject as well. Another thing Taiwanese people might do is comment on your unique features which differ from a Taiwanese person's appearance. This can include your height, weight, eye color, or hair. In their culture, it is not disrespectful to make such comments, and you should try to take it politely rather than offensively. I hope this video gave you some insights into the key differences between Taiwanese and American culture. While not covering every possible situation, this can hopefully serve as a guide to ensure that you make meaningful connections with locals during your stay without offending their customs and traditions.